Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's training session. I'm really excited to be here with you. My name is Sarvia, and together we will be exploring the foundations of effective communication. Okay, before we get started, let's just do a quick check-in. Sophie, if I'm not wrong, and James, how are you both today?
I'm good, thank you.
Massive depression.
Massive depression. Why? Why is that, James?
Double. But I'm good. Thank you. I'm trying really hard to get through that.
Okay, that's good. Fantastic. Thank you both. Now, I really want to start with a simple reflection. Think about the last time that you had a misunderstanding at work or in your daily life. What happened? So let's take a quick minute quietly to reflect. So I'll just give you some time to think about this scenario, misunderstanding in your own daily life or at work.
Sure. So I was at work and I obviously messed up. I sent instructions to a colleague by email when I really should have actually spoken to them face to face.
Okay.
The realization was that I didn't clearly word it the way I should have,
Mm-hmm.
and they misunderstood it. And
Yeah.
it created conflict, and I had to deal with it afterwards.
Okay. And what about you, Sophia? Can you give me an example? Did you think about an example?
Um, for me, it was during a meeting. Someone was explaining a process, but they
Yeah.
use a lot of technical terms. I didn't ask question at the time, so I walked away confused.
Mm-hmm.
Later, I just realized I missed the key information.
Okay, so you missed key information there, and for you, James, it was more about not reaching to the person face to face. So both examples really highlight why communication matters. So miscommunication, as you could see in these both scenarios from you both, Sophie and James, can lead to errors and frustration. So that's why today we explore what communication really is, the different elements involved, and how we can improve, especially on a workplace context. Okay, so now today we are just going to start with defining definition. So let's define communication, what communication is. So communication, guys, now in really basic language, is sending and receiving information between two or more people in a way that creates shared understanding. Okay, so this is the main definition for communications: shared understanding. All right, so basically we start with that. So here is the challenge: just because we say something doesn't mean is understood the way we intended, like you obviously mentioned before, James. So now, James, what do you think? Why does that happen? Why do you think sometimes whatever we say, it's not getting understood as we think?
Because people have different lives, they have different perceptions,
Mm-hmm.
they understand things from their own reality. You have to go on and base their experiences with yours and balance it out so they understand.
Yeah, well, exactly. Words carry different meanings as well. So, for different people, and obviously as well depending on culture, the background, and the context. So, Sophie, do you agree with this?
Yes. For example, in my last job,
Yeah.
ISP mean with the hour.
Mm-hmm.
But in my current time, it means sometime today.
Yeah, well, that's a brilliant example, Sophie. So that shows how even simple terms can be misinterpreted. So let's break it down with a simple model, okay? So communication, communication always has a sender, a message, a channel, a receiver, and feedback. Okay? So let's make all this info that I just put over here a little bit more interactive. So I'll give Sophie a short message to pass to James, okay?
Yeah.
And James will repeat back that he understood. Are you ready?
Yes.
So Sophie, here is your message. James, please make sure the weekly report is complete. Double check the figures and submit it by Friday at 3 p.m. to the shared drive.
James, could you finalize the report and submit it to the driver by the end of the week?
Okay, James, so what did you hear there? Can you tell me what did you hear?
I heard blah, 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 nada, ex-nay. That's what I heard. I need to finish the report. It's important. I need to know that it's going to be ended at this week, and I will conceptualize it and produce.
Okay, so the original message, James, had double checked the figures and Friday at 3 p.m. That was my original message, do you remember? But Sophie simplified it. So you simplified it, right? James, you understood end of the week, you understood about a report, which could mean Sunday. That's how easily, guys, can you see how easily message can lose like its track and its detail? So now imagine that that's happening in a workplace with critical deadlines.
Oh, I saw what happened.
Yeah, no worries. So, Sophie, this is exactly why we are practicing this, okay? Now let's do another quick exercise. I'll give each of you a vague instruction and you tell me how you would clarify it, okay? Now I'm going to give you the instruction. Can you take care of the files? Sophie, how would you make that clearer?
I ask, do you want me to organize the alphabetically by date or just check if they're all there?
Excellent. Okay, so James, I'll give you your turn as well. So I'm going to give you an instruction. Like, let's meet soon to discuss the project.
Okay. I just come in randomly. Yeah, that works for me. Let's focus. Let's get this done right now.
Perfect. Well, you both actually nailed it. So the point is clarity saves time and prevents confusion. Can you see that?
Yes.
So now let's move on to something that we often overlooked. Yeah. So, and this includes our non-verbal communication cues, so our body language. So, did you know that 70% of the communication is actually non-verbal? Did you realize that percentage? I really want you to get that synced in. So, the 70%
there is an example of non-verbal communication.
Yeah, probably we will have so many, James. So non-verbal, we do have body language. That's the most common that we know, but not the only one. Now, this one here is really important. Tone of voice, the tone you use when you communicate. Then something else as well, even not least important, which is eye contact. Am I looking at you when communicating? This one, really loved by Italians, gestures. The gestures you use while communicating as well matter so much. And have a look at this one.
Silence.
Silence. Silence. Who would it say, isn't it? Who would say? It's pretty curious. So, Sophie, have you ever had something say, I'm fine, but their tone made you think otherwise? For example, Sophie, did someone ever tell you, oh, look, I'm fine?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You can hear when someone's upset when if the words said they're okay.
Yeah, exactly. So, James, what about you? Have you seen non-verbal cues at work?
Sure. Even a fool seems silent if he holds his tongue.
But have you ever seen as well other like non-verbal cues, James?
Yeah, silence is when you're quiet. That's when it's going to erupt. That's when you need to listen.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a very good observation, James. So non-verbal cues give us very valuable information that words alone just don't, okay? That's why as trainers, as mentors, as coaches, we must pay attention in how we also say things and how we position ourselves to say all this. Now let's flip it. Let's flip it to the other part of the coin. So communication isn't just about speaking, it's also about listening. Passive listening is when you technically are hearing but not engaging. Active listening means you're fully present, you're here with your entire self and reflecting back what you've heard. So, James, can you give me an example of active listening, James?
Okay, so it's when you actually listen. You empathize. You don't sympathize with the person.
Yeah.
You actually hear what they have to say, but you don't identify. You just being there in the moment for them.
Wow. Yeah, fantastic. And Sophie, what about passive listening? What do you think passive listening is to you?
Then when I just know they say, ooh, okay, but it's not really paying attention.
Yeah, exactly. So active listening builds trust and obviously avoid misunderstandings. Yeah. So let's reflect, Sophie. How can you apply today's ideas to your own work, for example?
I think I will start clarifying more in emails,
Yeah.
adding a specific deadline instead of forward time like soon.
Yeah, that's an excellent answer, actually. James, what about you?
I think it's kind of important with people to synopsize things, to actually just clarify what's going on. So kind of paraphrasing, but like sort of engaging them so that they get to know you and build trust.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's exactly the goal. Like small changes that make a big difference. Yeah. Um, Now, so recapping part one, we spoke about communication is a shared understanding, not just words. Remember about the non-verbal cues. Then clarity prevents vagueness and saves time. The more clear you are, the more you avoid possible misunderstanding, miscommunications, and the rest. Okay. So, well, we've laid down the foundation for part one of this training, but now let's talk about the barriers of communication. Okay. So, Sophie, James, both of you, have you ever felt like you were talking to the other person and the other person wasn't really getting it?
Every day, especially when I speak to Sophie.
Oh, wow. Okay. Sophie, what do you have to say about that?
Nothing.
Okay. So, have you ever felt that the other person was not